talking about pets and the fact that a lot of care homes don't allow new residents, when they come to the care home and they leave there, obviously where they've been for a number of years with their pets, they don't allow the pets to come. A leading pet charity says it is helping more and more people decide what to do if they can't take their pet into a care home or sheltered accommodation. The Blue Cross would like all providers to have a clear-cut pet policy on whether or not older people can take their pet to live with them. But what are the rules and what are the logistics involved in taking a pet into a care home with you? Tony Stein, Chief Executive of Healthcare Management Solutions, which runs over 80 care services across the country. Well, they've got homes in Sunderland, Gateshead and Newcastle, joins us now on the phone. Hi, Tony.
Hello, Lisa.
Now then, Tony, do you allow pets in the care homes that you run?
Yes, we do. And many homes around the country will consider taking pets with residents when they come to live in the home.
And are we talking cats, dogs? I would imagine you've got to draw a line.
Generally speaking, it's cats and dogs and occasionally budgies. And some homes will have their own pets, such as hens or rabbits or whatever. But, of course, you've got to consider a lot of factors before you can just say yes.
Yeah. Is it a common thing nowadays? People want to bring their pets with them?
It is. Well, I would say it's very common, but it happens on a reasonably regular basis. Often people have suffered a long period of illness, so they've had to come to other arrangements with their pets before they come to looking for a care home. Mm-hmm. So it's not a very regular thing, but obviously, pets are companions, and people don't want to leave them, and they're actually the positive impact of having a pet around is well documented, so wherever we can, we'd help the resident to bring their pet into the home.
So benefits like stress relief, that sort of thing?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. But you've got to consider other residents and the welfare of the animal and the staff in the home. So, we'd risk assess and look at things like whether or not there are any allergies within the home or any other residents with phobias and that kind of thing.
I was going to ask that. Talk me through the decision-making process if you can. How do you decide which pets to allow and which ones just can't do it?
Well, obviously, you've got to look at the premises. Are the premises suitable? Have we got the garden space? Have we got people who know how to look after the pets? Have any of the residents got any allergies or phobias? Yeah. Do we have the manpower in the home and the expertise to look after the animal? Generally speaking, we're talking about cats and small dogs. That's the norm. If somebody had a python, then we'd have to think very carefully about whether we brought them into the home.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but generally speaking, we've even got staff who bring their pets in, and they're loved by everybody in the home generally, and considered part of the family.
Who walks, let's say dogs, for example, who walks the dogs and feeds them, takes them to the vets? Because I'd imagine some of the residents who perhaps bring their companions with them, they're not capable.
No, absolutely, and that's why we'd have a care plan for the pet as well as for the residents. So, who looks after it, who's going to feed it, who's going to clean up after it, what do they eat, when do they eat, and where do they eat, and all these things need to be considered. And every home will be different. So. Yeah. But generally speaking, as I said, it's usual that the residents who come to us have been struggling for some time with looking after themselves, let alone a pet, and the pets have moved on. Other family members may have taken them, or they've been rehomed through Blue Cross or somebody like that. But those who do come to us with a pet, then we have to decide whether we've got somebody who can take that responsibility on.
Oh, we heard Bob's audio earlier on, and in his story, he was obviously very upset at the idea of being separated from his dog. But the home he was in said his dog had been unmanageable. Taking someone's pet away in that situation must be so hard for the people who run the care home, never mind hard on Bob, for example.
Yeah, hugely distressing. I'm a dog owner and a dog lover, and, I couldn't bear to be split from my dogs, for example. But again, I've got a very boisterous boxer, so I'm not sure that would be that Amber would be suitable in a home. She'd be running around and jumping up at people and that kind of thing. So you've got to be realistic, and I'm not entirely certain of the circumstances around that gentleman's pet, about why it became difficult for the staff. But it's a terrible thing for anybody, isn't it, to be separated from the pet?
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's not just that they're leaving the home, perhaps, that they've lived in for goodness knows how long, could have been their entire lives, but then to lose the one companion they have.
Oh, shocking, shocking. I mean, 40% of UK households have got a pet. So people grow up with pets, and as I say, they become part and parcel of the family. So, and residents have often, they're separated from their partner as well at that time when they move into a home. So to be separated from their partner and to be separated from their pet, is a terribly distressing thing. Maybe it's one of those things that if the particular pet that they have is unmanageable and can't live with them in the home, then it's possible perhaps for them to look for a replacement pet over time. I know it's not the same thing, but it's something to consider.
Is it something you consider now when you're building a new home or taking one on, that, pets, is that a consideration in the build?
No, it's really strange. I was thinking about this when looking at this article, and actually, in 17 years of being in the industry and talking to people who are looking to build services, I can't remember ever having a single conversation with anybody about building a home with pets in mind. And that seems very strange to me. And maybe it's something that people will start to consider.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Tony. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. And that's Tony Stein, Chief Executive of Healthcare Management, who run a number of care homes in the North East.